Zeenat Shaukat Ali, irrespective of the provocation, irrespective whatever be the provocation, can Sar Tan Se Juda ever be justified? Unfortunately, we've seen a lot of these Sar Tan Se Juda kind of mobs coming together. We've seen it in Kashmir. We've seen it in different parts of our country. Ma'am, is it not time for a message to go out loud and clear? If you have a grievance, approach the police, approach courts of law. Street justice will not be allowed to function in India, ma'am.
Thank you, Gaurav, for inviting me to the show. And I absolutely and totally agree with you that the rule of law has to prevail, and this Tan Se Juda has been picked up from some, organization in Pakistan, which is a terrorist organization, and put it to the mouth of Muslims. Let me assure you that this has very little to do with Islam. But I also would like to say that, there is a small minority of people, who are trying to extinguish, the spirit of brotherhood in this country, and who are also, in the Muslim community, who are trying to, extinguish, or speak or use the method, muscle power in order to deal with words. Nupur Sharma said something, you could counter it with words. There is no need for you to pick up arms. I think that is completely against. And let me tell you, as a Muslim, what has happened to our poor tailor, Kanhaiya ji, I hang my head in shame, because this was not the Prophet's call. This is not the Prophet's mission. His mission was to establish peace and to make, to have a peaceful society. That is the order of the day. But unfortunately, internalizing, a puritanical understanding and mistaking it to be a universal truth and presenting it in the name of, a tenet, it's negating a basic tenet of Islam to start off with.
So it's actually anti-Islam, you're saying. It's negating a tenet of Islam. And ma'am, I'll come back to you on this very crucial point that you make. But I want to, Supriya Srinath, you had your hand up. You wanted to respond to Ratan Sharda saying that there is an ecosystem, words to the effect that there is an ecosystem that's out to burn this country, and they're using every trick in the trade, including inciting Muslims.
Yes, there is an ecosystem, and that ecosystem comprises of Dhruv Saxena of the BJP IT cell, found supplying information to ISI. It has Balram Singh involved with ISI terror funding. It has Aqib Shafi, the BJP leader in South Kashmir, supplying arms. It has Devinder Singh, where a probe was closed against him. Nobody knows what his role in Pulwama was, hobnobbing with the BJP leaders. It has Riaz Atari having links with the BJP leaders in Udaipur, and now Talib Hussain in LET, Jammu Kashmir. You talk about Kashmiri Pandits, 50 दिन हो गए, उनका दर्द तो सुनिए. एक पिक्चर दिखाने की बात करते हैं, उससे पैसा कमाते हैं. जब वाकई में कश्मीरी पंडितों के ऊपर आई है, तो ये सरकार चुप है. Gaurav, you are a journalist, and I'm asking you only one question. What is the most potent way to destroy a country? And to my mind, that is fake news. आप झूठ फैलाते हैं, आप नफरत लगाते हैं, आप करते हैं. ये कौन कर रहा है? ये भाजपा के चुने हुए सदस्य, सांसद, विधायक, इस पैनल पर बैठे हुए लोग have become peddlers of fake news. There was a video that was doctored of Rahul Gandhi, linking him and saying that he had forgiven people of Udaipur when he was actually talking about people in his constituency in Wayanad. That was being peddled. Please wait. That was being peddled by members of media and by BJP elected representatives, including Rajyavardhan Rathore, the former INB minister, and Abhijit Ayar Mitra, your panelists. How is that acceptable in a democracy? Are you going to spread
since you've raised a very specific question about Abhijit Ayar Mitra, Abhijit, would you want to respond to her? Ratan Sharda has his hand up. Ratan Sharda, you go next. But Abhijit, response, sir.
Listen, the person who decides to riot is responsible for their own actions. This lady wants to see all kinds of strange mind control tactics and whatnot wherever, except she wants to absolve the actual rioters of responsibility. Okay, and this has been the Congress strategy for a very long time.
Absolutely not.
About right
I started off by
one by one.
I'm asking you, why did you share
ma'am, when you spoke, Abhijit, ma'am, when you spoke, no one interrupted you. Let Abhijit Ayar Mitra complete, ma'am.
You will not interrupt me.
Go on,
He
sir.
was sharing a
And-
fake
and this
video.
lady-
Hold on.
and this lady-
One by one.
And this lady is a known purveyor of hate. Notice what she just did when you asked her. 3 Hindu men have now been killed for basically supporting Nupur Sharma, and she wants to equalize this to everybody. Apparently, everybody is equally responsible. Apparently, according to her, Samuel Patil...
One by one. One by one.
The BJP terror network. Please denounce that. Will you ask questions of the BJP? Will you tell me why were you peddling fake news about Rahul Gandhi?
Okay,
Do you
hold
have
on.
an explanation?
Nupur
Why did you
Sharma,
put up that
hold on,
fake video?
hold on. Supriya
Answer that question.
Shrinet, let Abhijit respond, then I'll come to you, ma'am. But only Abhijit. Abhijit, respond, please.
So this kind of normalization that the Congress party has been doing, it is the longest history possible. Like Ratan Sharda pointed out, during the UPA, there was a maximum number of terror strikes, which has now dropped drastically. What you are seeing today is the absolute fringe element trying. This is the desperate call, the plea, of the rearguard action, the desperate last rearguard action. Because what we finally have in this country is proper law and order that doesn't bring out communal violence bills, which automatically end up blaming Hindus for all communal violence around here. This is the final plea of a party that has gone from triple-digit seats, 2/3 majorities, down to less than, down to 2-digit seats. So it's perfectly understandable. This is the call of desperation. Rahul Gandhi has no future. He is going nowhere. He's a joke.
No, whether he has a future, whether he's a joke. No, sir. Sir, I'm so sorry. That's for the voters to decide. And that's not central to our debate today. That's not central to our debate today. Our debate very simply is this hit list.
I am asking
Rahul Gandhi's future is not the debate.
Why did he choose to peddle fake news? That's the question. Why did he peddle fake news? I want to ask this question. Does he have an answer to that? जब एक माहौल इतना खराब है देश का, आप एक नेता के खिलाफ झूठा प्रचार क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्यों आपने वो झूठा वीडियो चलाया? आप देश से माफी मांगिए.
But is that झूठा video responsible for the deaths, ma'am?
No, Rahul, I want to apologize. I want to apologize to Supriya Shrinate
from
circulating. Listen,
one by one. Okay, ma'am. मैम
एक
एक बार में एक व्यक्ति बोलेगा और अभी केवल अभिजीत आपने प्रश्न पूछा. Ma'am, you raised a point. Let him respond.
I absolutely apologize for spreading that fake news. The problem with Rahul is he's such a pathetic joke.
No,
I don't know what is
no
real
personal
and what
attacks.
is fake with him. So I absolutely apologize. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. But I don't know what is real and what is fake.
No, so that's completely unacceptable. We will say, I am sorry, no personal attacks. Only Ratan Sharda. My apologies to our guests and our viewers. There are no personal attacks that are permitted on the broadcast. Ma'am, I've asked you a question. You will respond to that question. My request to you is respond to questions that are asked. You raised a point. He responded. Ratan Sharda, you wanted to come in on the point on this ecosystem, that is out to burn this country. Explain that, sir.
It's very strange when we have very sensible, moderate Muslim voices on the panel who are owning up the problem of the society, Muslim community, and trying to find ways of resolving it and appealing people to behave responsibly. We have a Congress spokesperson behaving worse than the mullahs who come out on the street creating hate. Trying to deviate the debate into Rahul Gandhi and all that is not the actual issue. Issue is that before 2014, India was a peaceful country. It was land of honey. It was land of beauty. There was no riots everywhere. All the riots that happened were all mythical. There was no riot in the case of Congress government. There was peace in Assam. There was peace in Bengal. Nobody was killed in Bengal. Nor in Kashmir. What kind of narrative are we creating? We are giving cover fire to all this. That was our first objection.